It wasn't that long ago that being a Republican wasn't really a bad thing. It wasn't a slur like it is today. And the reason being is because the Republican Party, if you look at the Republican Party, the way that it started, you recognize the first Republican president, which was Abraham Lincoln. He was pro-unionist, anti-Confederate, pro-American, and pro the American system. And the other thing is that they ended slavery, which was a noble cause, obviously, to end slavery. But then you have somehow something happened, and now today you have Mormonism taking over the Republican Party. You have Dixiecrat theology. You have Confederates. I mean, look at the South already. Basically taken over by the Republican Party. Now, Republicanism used to mean something that was totally different than what it is today. And ever since I was opposed Franklin D. Roosevelt, there was always this disdain against the Democratic Party. But the Republican Party was, in the beginning, never anti-gay. I mean, it had a lot of prominent gay people within the party since the start of the Republican Party in the 1850s and 60s. So the reason why it's called the Grand Old Party is because they're trying to retain that image, pro-unionist and anti-slavery party, and created one of the most unique and most astounding land use legislation, which was the Homestead Act. You can go ahead and research that and find out why that was amazing. And it was pretty amazing. The Republicans of the past did a lot of amazing things. But then you come to Taft, right? Things started changing there. Then you have more of the rich establishment, the aristocrats, taking over the party because everything was up in New York, and of course the Republican Party was mostly northern. And their aim was to ensure that the southern states kept being poor. So then they adopted Austrian economics, the Austrian system, which basically is to cut yourself, kill everybody, no economic rights for anybody, no sustainable government, no nothing. Basically back to the Holy Roman Empire, totally fronting and insulting the framers of these great states that we call the USA and the founders of the 13 colonies. Because the founders wanted a union. They didn't want a confederate. But all of that, the Confederacy versus the northern states, came to fruition because you had, of course, the British intelligence going after them. And you had the British wanting the United States to be broken up into pieces so that way it can retake the United States. And that's always been the grudge of the royal family of Europe to try to regain control of the United States. And that's what we see today with NATO. I mean, what is NATO, by the way? NATO is a way to control the U.S. military. Most of the military operations in Europe are American. I mean, that's why we have so many Americans in the UK and Italy, in Germany, and Eastern Europe, Yugoslavia, and all that area. It's not because we try to make sure that there's no Third World War, but I think we already had it, and that was, of course, the Cold War. Republicans tend to take credit for the destruction of communism. I don't think that's really true. I think communism on itself really just collapsed. It's not sustainable that way. What you need is a country that is fully productive, in which everybody is able to produce something. And then that would bring up the value of the country, the value of its currency, the value of its credit. That's how you get us out of this depression. But since, for some reason, Obama, Mr. Hopi Changey, he doesn't want to do anything about it. He doesn't want to call Bernanke and say, hey, Bernanke, start pumping $1 trillion worth of 0% interest money to any company that wants to hire people and produce products and services. But he doesn't do that. Instead, what happened is that we're seeing this Federal Reserve, and some people are saying abolish the Federal Reserve, and you have all the Paulistas, Ron Paul supporters saying that. That's not how you fix things. You nationalize the Federal Reserve, and you make the Federal Reserve print money for the issuance of infrastructure and 0% interest loans to students, and of course to companies and businesses who are going to produce something for this country, who are going to start hiring people. I mean, that's how you get us out of the depression. That's how we used to do it in the past, even before we have a Federal Reserve. You know, the first recession in this country, that's how we got out of it. We started to print money. Some people say that's bad. Yes, it's bad, but you're going to suffer other, even worse consequences. And at the end of each year, you try to offset any of the inflation losses, or, you know, I can't really go into much of the detail of economics because I don't want to bore everybody. But the thing is that I've always been getting these emails and messages and talking about gay Republicans, and that's why we talk about republicanism. Now, the Republican Party doesn't really care about gay rights, nor does the Democratic Party. Now, you say, look at their platform. The platform means shit. It's not even worth the paper it's printed on. People even admit that. Even the higher-ups of the GOP admit that. The higher-ups of the Democratic Party say, what do they say? Platforms mean shit. So you can say whatever you want to say about that. Now, the gay Republicans, people are telling me, why are they gay Republicans? Why are they supporting these anti-gay candidates? You have Jim Colby supporting Mittens. And what I say is this, look, if they are supporting Mittens Romney, you're going about that wrong. You cannot criticize them saying, oh, because he's a Republican, they're anti-gay and all that. I mean, that's what the gay Republicans expect you to say. What I would say is, why are you supporting a hedge fund hyena, an asset stripper, and somebody that really doesn't really care about the American system, somebody that wishes to destroy the American system? And his Mormon beliefs, because he says that his Mormon beliefs are very important, state that America is a nation that must be destroyed. Now, why can't we talk about these issues? But if you do, of course, gay Republicans, will laugh at this, and they'll say, you're just another hack. No, of course not. Well, the reason why gay Republicans, and I met many of them, and there's some that truly believe that economics and prosperity all come from the top down, and that's not how it works. It comes from the bottom up. You need the people of the nation to get together and to really start mobilizing, start producing, and start working. And that's how you get the economy back in order. That's how you start it. And it's not about That you want to take money away from the rich? No, just everybody should have the same opportunity. And everybody should meet at the middle. But the thing is that the elite don't want to meet at the middle. They want all of us to just die. So gay Republicans, I really have nothing really against them. They're just victims like gay Democrats. They're victims of their own dogma, their own fanaticism, and they fail to see, because of that fanaticism, they fail to see the reality of things. They don't want to listen to anything else but their own ideology. They talk to themselves, basically, because obviously nobody's listening to them. And of course, the fact that they're gay even discredits them even more. Now, you have people within the Republican Party who are total hacks, who are ideologues, who believe in or who worship reproduction, who are trying to legalize polygamy through outlawing gay marriage, or not outlawing it, but making gay marriage an issue. You can therefore make polygamy an issue. So we have these operatives within the Republican Party who are trying to, or as they're called, social conservatives. And they're not social conservatives. They are fanatics. They're devoting their time and their energy on the business of other Americans. These people don't really help anything. They don't help anyone but themselves. And even some of these people who are selling these ex-gay books and all of these materials, and they go on their websites and blogs and sell DVDs and all that shit, they're doing it for monetary gain. And I know that. And of course, many people should realize that. Because they say, hey, I mean, some of this shit is about making money. You can use religion to make money. You can use ex-gay therapy to make money. And people make money out of that stupid shit. And they do. Gay Republicans need to wake up just like gay Democrats need to wake up. The two-party system has failed this country, and it has failed gay rights. It has failed everybody. Why can't we just support people who are pro-America, who are pro the American system, pro-recovery, anti-austerity? Why can't we have that? Why are we supporting extremists? Because both parties are pretty much extremists. That's what they are. A majority of us in this country, we are common sense people. We try to be. And for a gay Republican to come out and say, look, I support my party because of its economic policies, you have to ask them, what economic policies exactly? Because the Democratic Party has also its economic policies. Some of it is fine, some of it is not fine. And you're going to say that gay Democrats also support the Democratic Party first because they support it on economic purposes or economic reasons. So to say that we should bash gay Republicans because they only support the Republican Party because of its economic policies is really stupid, because gay Democrats do the same thing. Gay Democrats are guilty as the gay Republicans. Now you're saying, well, Democrats support gay rights. Well, you're gonna have to look at that in many ways. First, you have New York. Okay, you win in New York. Democrats supported gay marriage finally, and it went through with the help of 3 or 4 Republicans. And you needed those Republican votes to win New York. But look at Missouri. Look at New Mexico. I'm going to point out a few places for you. Florida, North Carolina, Wisconsin, Michigan. Look at Ohio. Look at Pennsylvania. Look at Maryland. Even in Maryland, you're going to have problems. Democratic blue states in many times of our history, and never have they passed anything pro-gay. The California legislature failed to pass gay marriage when you had a pro-gay marriage governor, Gray Davis, before Schwarzenegger came into office, Democrats were ruling California. And in fact, when I lived in California, I remember receiving a nice little postcard from a state senator of my district by the name of Lou Correa. Send me a nice little postcard saying, "Help me stop gay marriage," and he was a Democrat. Democrats, that label means nothing to me. It means nothing. Just like saying, "Oh well, I drive a Honda. I drive a Ford. So what?" It's what you bring to the table that really counts. And this whole partisan shilling, that's what it's all about. It's just shilling. It has nothing to do with gay rights. It has nothing to do with anything. And I know that gay Republicans attack back and they say, "Well, look at the good Democrats." Yes, I know, because both parties are lame. You are two peas in the same pod. Recognize that. And people always accuse me, "Oh, you must be a Democrat. Oh, you must be some right-winger Republican." If we cannot leave this paradigm, this obstructionist paradigm imposed on us by the elite and the control freaks of this country, in which we can only think of two parties, then we're never going to find the solutions. And that's what it is. And gay people need to stop with this Democrat, Republican bullshit. I mean, look at the Jews of this country. They don't just support Democrats, they also support Republicans. And you're going to have influence from Israel on both parties, and that's what you have today. The problem is that gay people are, in some ways, a little bit too overdramatic in this area. We have simplified this issue too much. It's really dumbed down to the lowest common denominator. And today, being the RNC convention, people are saying, "Oh God, why are these gay Republicans there?" Blah blah blah. Some people are saying, "Well, it's because it's the progress. It's because of this, blah, whatever." It's shilling. Get it through your head. It's called partisan shilling. They're shilling for power. And that's what we are about. Just like gay Democrats, just like Joe Salmonese, who kissed the ass cheeks of Obama. What did he do for the Human Rights Campaign? Nothing. What did he do for the gay community? Nothing. He gave us the finger multiple times. And then he's now working for the Obama campaign. Joe Salmonese, the former head of the Human Rights Campaign. Now he's a Democratic Party operative. And what was he doing? He was a party shilling fanatic, a freakazoid who didn't care about gay people or gay rights. And we can say the same thing with Log Cabin. We can say the same thing with Go Proud. Until we let go of these labels and start really focusing on what needs to be done, both in economics, foreign policy, domestic policy, we will never fix the problems, and we'll always start to fight with each other. The last thing that the gay community needs to do is fight each other. We need to get together and start working on something. But the political masters, the controllers, really have us. They really grabbed us by the balls this time, and now they have us fighting each other. They want, and they don't care if you vote Republican or if you vote Democrat. They're gonna get what they want. Okay. The big medical insurance companies and the big pharma, they got what they want with Obamacare. They didn't care if it was Mittens who was the president, as long as whoever's there is going to do their bidding. That's how it works. Congress is paid and bought for by special interests, by Wall Street, and they control Congress, basically. Doesn't matter if it's Democrat or Republican. Why are we so Why are we so blinded by this? I mean, look, we have voted Democrat, we have voted Republican for all this time. For all this time. For what? We're still in the shitter. We're still in the shitter. First we vote Republican, then Democrat, then Republican, and each time we switch over and back and forth, it gets worse and worse and worse. I mean, what have we become in this country? Sadists? Masochists? We like to torture ourselves here? What is this? What it is that we have become politically blinded. We have no power no more. We have no power. And we believe that we gay people, we have some power, right? Well, yeah, maybe. A little bit. Not as much. That's for sure. But this whole gay Republican, versus gay Democrat is not really my cup of tea. It's not really that fascinating. It's really boring. And when gay Republicans open their mouths and they try to defend themselves and doing their shilling and everything, it's just what they should do is just shut up. Gay Democrats, shut up. Until you can deliver the goods, shut up. Don't say anything. We don't care. Until you deliver the goods. Show us meat, potatoes. It's like a guy that always keeps telling me, "Oh, I'm really hung. I have a big ass cock." Well, don't just say it, Sherlock. Drop your trowel and show it to me. That's how it is. Everybody is flaunting around that they have a big cock, but nobody wants to show anything, and it's all just show. It's all theater. But it's really bad theater. It's like going to dinner theater. That's how it is, and it's really bad. And nobody should support it. I don't support it. I don't. And when people, just like today, I went to vote and I forgot. And I didn't really want to vote, but my parents wanted to vote. They wanted me to take them there, so we went to vote. And they asked me what my party was. I was an independent. I'm an independent. And the ladies that are working at the poll, they're like, "Oh, we don't know what to do with you." What do you mean you don't know what to do with me? I'm a voter. But if you don't want me to vote, that's fine. In fact, since it's only the primaries, I didn't have to vote. I only had to vote on a few things, local issues. I didn't vote on any candidates. Thank goodness. But, oh well. But I don't really get this whole, well, I mean, I get it and to some extent, but I just don't get why we are so taken over by this gay Republican versus gay Democrat. I mean, they're both shills. They're both parties. They're both for the Wall Street establishment. They both work for the control freaks of the country. It doesn't matter who you vote for anymore. Because whoever you vote for, they're going to still continue the same system. They're going to feed the system. That's what they're going to do. Okay?